Good morning, fellow option traders, and welcome to the daily scan for Monday, March 17th, 2014. Happy St. Paddy's Day to everyone out there. Empire State Manufacturing Survey for today, and Treasury International Capital, Industrial Production, and Housing Market Index all on tap on or before 10 a.m. this morning. And then after that, some bill announcements. So I'm not sure exactly if anything in the news is going to have any effect on the market, because I just don't understand the movement. I mean, nothing has been resolved over the weekend, and yet the futures are looking decidedly positive, which is really pretty confusing to me. And if you come over here and take a look at what's going on across the big ponds over towards the west, we have the Asian markets pretty much on the positive side. Even the bullish or the bearish ones here aren't all that bearish. And in Europe, everything is green with a nice solid bullish lean to them. And see, there's just nothing's been resolved here. And pro-Putin anchor hits at nuking U.S. Well, yeah, I don't think they really need to resort to that type of a tactic these days. I think that there's much more destructive things as far as the, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. Nuking is just like, like a 1960s answer to everything. Now you can cripple a country just by taking out its infrastructure, its electronics. You can do EMP explosion or event. There's all sorts of different ways, but I digress, because that has nothing to do with really what we're talking about here. Okay, so the futures here are looking very positive. Anything over 0.5% is good, and we are definitely more than 0.5% here. Gold, we're looking at almost 1380. Let's take a look at a chart right quick on that and see. Yeah, there's been a nice march here on gold ever since beginning of February. So it's making a very nice move. So if you bought some futures contracts in gold, you're doing really good. And oil is at 98.66, and that's good, but somebody forgot to tell the oil companies here in the United States, or at least around here, because, well, as they say, you pump up the price, and then you pump it up 40 cents, and you pull back 30, and then you pump it up 40, and you pull back 30, and it just keeps going up, but everybody still feels good about it. But I haven't seen any response to this lowered crude oil number here. All right, since I don't have anything going on in my CSSV2 account right now, it's not even showing up here. Here's where we're sitting with most everything else, and we don't usually look at these, so we'll just cover them up, I guess you might say. The IWM that was down $240 some last week is now only down 140. That's that calendar. So I might be looking at closing that today, because that is going to expire this Friday. So I might have to do something about that. And we'll look at that as we go through the A+ list. Also, I wanted to just take a peek here. Let's look at Costco. Last week we were looking at a bear call on that, and actually it would have worked out really, really well I didn't want to hold over the weekend, so I just kind of ignored anything that was going on Friday. This is still good. This is one, two, and I don't know. Not sure I'm excited about getting into it now. Emphasize that. Emphasize the stochastic. Not sure I want to get into that now, because look what happens when it gets down and it touches the 20. And it gets down and it touches the 20 here. It continued down. It came down here, hit it, and it just continued down. That could still be, I mean, that's a pretty solid day. We'll have to see how it works out today. I'm not sure that I really want to do anything about it, but I will leave it on the list. So that's an alertable trade, and while I was paused there, making a note, I also added the alert to it, and I did it from over on this chart, which lets me be a little bit more accurate in getting below the low of the previous day. CVX we were looking to do a calendar on. I'm just having a little bit of a problem trying to figure out where I would put the calendar on this. So I am going to leave that on the list for today as well. I might do a little bit longer term calendar on that one. Igor, let's see, we're looking at doing a bull put on that, and that's good. So that is now alertable, so I'll add an alert here. Add or above, that's good. Whereas on Friday it was on the setup list, sitting here, and it did set up nicely, so didn't want to hold over the weekend. So we'll probably get into this one today if we get an alert. Google, we were looking for a bull put on it, and it failed us. So this is no longer on our list. Let's take that off of there. And MasterCard, last one on the list, was a bear call. It gave us that, but I'm not going to put an alert on this. I'm not going to put an alert on this for today, just because I'm not sure that this is going to work out based on this moving average here. No, you know what? On second thought, I will put an alert on it. Just because I should put an alert on it doesn't mean I have to get into the trade. I'm just looking at this price moving here as we get our dips, and it may be something, if it hooks back up here, it may be something that you could survive on. But these are only like 2 and 3 day cycles here, and we're already into the second day on this one. So that may not be a good choice there, but there's an alert on it anyway. Alright, we'll jump right over to the A+ list and start out with Apple, going alphabetically. Let's see here. We're still on a daily chart. Yes, we are. Okay, Apple downtrend, didn't really get us set up here. Amazon, yeah, we had this calendar here that we had to get out of last week. That one lost a little bit of money on that one. Didn't have a lot into it though. Am I seeing anything else? No setups here for CSSV2. Boeing. We still have a calendar out here on it, and no setups for CSSV2. Baidu. No setup here. Definitely might be moving into a new trend. a downtrend, so we need a full cycle before we do anything there. Celgene. Celgene, that is needs to give us a setup, so we're looking up here for a target. Let's get our target tool out. They call it an oval, I call it target tool. So we'll be looking for that. Chipotle. Well, this is interesting. Kept us out. Remember, we were talking about a setup on this, and it just totally collapsed on us. This is no longer a setup by any means, because we had a failure here. We would want the screen to go all the way up to the 80 and then come down. But it hasn't done that, so for the near future, there's nothing going on with Chipotle. Costco, we already covered that one. CVX covered that one, that one, that one. That's down to FedEx. All right, we have earnings this week, and I'm going to keep this calendar open just to see what might happen with their earnings on 3/19 before the market. I've like I said, I paid, I think, 54 cents for this calendar, and it's when I rolled this, it's now my cost basis is now down to like 25 cents or so. So I'm just going to hang in there on this and see what happens. IV pumps up really good, and we could take a look at this on the Analyze tab. If IV pumps up good, I think this was just a little bit over 300, so now we're moving up. If you look here at the IV for the short is at 61%. So that one that I sold is worth a lot of money right now. So we'll watch this during the week, and maybe we'll just sell, or I don't want to buy this one back because it's too expensive right now. Well, I paid 55 cents for it, and it's now worth 10. So I don't know. It's up 44 bucks, and then just leave this one open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of alert myself about this, put it on my calendar to come and make sure that I take a look at this. Let's see here, 19th or tomorrow. And make a decision for sure on Tuesday what I'm going to do with this. So here's my options. And this is probably what I might do is just, well, I have an option here. The option is to buy this short back for 10 cents and just leave the long put out there and see what happens for earnings, or to just close the whole thing and take my little meager profit here and just hang on to it. So those are my options for that, and of course I'll report back to you and let you know what I did. But for sure we are in a downtrend. There's a reason for that. In today's market, it's not following the rest of the market, so there's a reason for that. So hanging on to that put might be a good thing, the long put. I'll decide tomorrow how much risk I want to put into this puppy. All right, let's go take a look at gold. Okay, my covered call is doing pretty good here. And this is an April 134. And I sold it for 43. And it's now worth $2.31. So I could look at possibly rolling this. I'm not going to roll it yet, but I could roll this into the next month, possibly, and take another maybe 10 or 15 cents off of this puppy. So we'll see what I do with that. Gold is on a nice little trip here, so that might be a good thing. We looked at Google. Let's look at IWM, this calendar that I have on it. It's not down a whole heck of a lot. Out of a, oops, where's my cursor? We're okay here. Oh, there we go. I had to wake it up. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's hanging in there. It's going to have a bad day today. So I'll just take a pass on that. We don't have anything setting up for CSSV2. All right, LinkedIn. Oh yeah, that trade worked out. CSSV2 trade worked out for. I didn't do anything. I didn't get out early or anything. I did buy the short back. I think for 3 cents on Friday, just before the close, because you never know. So I didn't want to take any chances with that. We'll take a look at the results on that one later. MasterCard, we already have the alert on that. 3M. All right, 3M, we're looking for a cycle. We're looking for it to come up to our target here. We need a full cycle with the new downtrend. Maybe we'll get it. Netflix, this is surprising for Netflix, but we're looking for something up here right now. As long as this trend is green, we'll be looking for a stochastic to come back up here to give us an no, actually we are not. We're just going to delete that. We're in an uptrend, so we had a failed entry here. So if you would have gotten in early on this, you would have got burned. So we have to ignore this. We need a new cycle, whole new cycle, and then come down and give us a new hookup if this trend continues. Sorry about that. I was trying to read a trade into this and force a trade on it when there really wasn't any. Priceline, same thing. Looks a lot like Netflix, doesn't it? Probably because of the way the market moved last week. We'll see a lot of these. The Russell probably looks a lot like the IWM, as it should, which is not giving us any entries for credit spreads. And SPX look the same as SPY, which we usually don't cover SPY. Now this is looking good for a setup. This is a good solid setup here. Oh, we got a little bit of a tinge of red here. This is a questionable setup. I'm going to write it down anyway. Just because, well, yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this. I don't like this moving average here. This is a violation of rules. So this is not really a setup. But we're going to see how it plays out, because I'm going to put, and I'm going to change the color on it so that it doesn't look like all the rest of them. Make it a gold one, and it'll be like a little question mark there. Probably the same thing for SPY. Tesla, we had a setup here, and I think we set an alert on this. Do I have that back here? Seems to, yes, we did. We had an alert on it on the 13th, and it opened up and just pulled back the rest of the day. Let's see if we have that over here. This is the 13th. This is the 11th. That's the 12th. Here's the 13th. And so the alert triggered and took a look at it, and it was so we took a pass on it, and it was a good thing. So now this failed. And last, but certainly not least, is Visa. 225 calendar, missed out on it. It was making money here, and then this day here, it just tanked, I guess you could say. So do we have a CSSB2? No, we have a moving average that turned red, so we have nothing going on here for that. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Happy trading.